Coming up in this edition of Morning Drive, we hear the latest from Rory McIlroy on his health after revealing during the Players more pain in his back. Plus, Dr. Ara in studio to give us a complete breakdown on the results. Also, it's AT&T Byron Nelson Week on the PGA Tour. Sergio Garcia, the defending champion. We have a past champion in studio to show us how he ultimately held hardware on Sunday afternoon. Plus, we go live to Illinois for the KPMG Women's PGA Championship Media Day. Major champions Stacey Lewis and Brooke Henderson joining us live and talking us through their swing. It's Tuesday, and you're on the tee with Morning Drive. Hi there, good morning. It is Tuesday, May 16, 2017, and we welcome you inside Studio AP for this edition of Morning Drive. Todd Lewis proud to be sitting beside our friends Paige McKenzie and Robert Dameron as we turn the corner on the Players and move now, at least on the PGA Tour, to Texas for the AT&T Byron Nelson. How was your Players week, by the way?
It was good. I actually had my baby shower this weekend, so I had a lot of personal things going on in addition to having the golf on in the background.
Did my invite to the baby shower get lost in the mail? I am moving, so it must have gotten lost in the mail. That's
sorry.
The only explanation.
Was it a couple shower, by the way?
It was female only.
Oh, so. I'm sorry. We'll make sure we'll get you one for the next one because she may have another one.
I still hurt a little bit.
All right, from one mother-to-be to another, we say good morning to our friend Lauren Thompson. LT, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm an insider to that baby shower.
Oh, yeah.
It was ladies only. We were there. Great Morning Drive presence by a lot of our researchers and staff included. We had a really good time. She got some good gifts. She is set up. But check this out. Siwoo Kim, he wins the Players on Sunday, becomes the youngest to win the event at 21 years of age. Calm, cool, collected down the stretch and in victory, cashes in a check just shy of $1.9 billion. And then this, tweeted by a former journalist now in public relations with the now two-time PGA Tour winner on his way home Monday in coach. In the middle seat. Pretty surprising travel accommodations, right, for someone who just earned all that money. But Siwoo Kim has also announced that he will not be in the field for this week's AT&T Byron Nelson in Irving, Texas. So let's take a look at that timeline from the Players champion. He said on Saturday night at the Players, my back began to flare up. On Sunday when I arrived, I received treatment from the physio on the putting green that helped me get through the round and fortunately win the tournament. Having dealt with that, the last 2 days, I feel it is best for me to take precautionary measures to ensure that I can play and compete fully healthy for the rest of the season. Because, Todd, expectations, they tend to rise. So probably a very smart decision by him.
Absolutely. His axis is now shift from an expectation level both internally and externally from fans and the media as well. It's a little concerning at 21 to have some back issues. He's also battled some wrist injury problems as well. But what are you taking away from that social media site and everything?
He's being smart about his back, obviously, taking care of it. The last thing you want to do is re-aggravate it in a situation like this when you're coming off of great play. You don't want to get into bad habits. But, Robert, middle seat?
Middle seat with a bad back with $2 million in your back pocket kind of makes you sit crooked a little bit. No wonder his back went out on it.
Hey, man, I like it. The fact that he's with the people. He's with the people. He should have bought the plane drinks. That's the only thing. He went $2 million. Let's buy everybody.
Is he old
enough
to buy drinks? Barely.
He can do it. Okay. And on the subject of injuries, last week during the Players, Rory McIlroy revealed he was feeling a bit of pain stemming from an injury to his back and also pain in his ribs as well. He had suffered those injuries earlier this year that kept him out of competition for 6 weeks. McIlroy underwent an MRI on Monday, and the results revealed, well, what he thought was indeed the issue. Here is his statement that was released. The MRI scan confirmed no new injury, rather a low-grade response to the rib joint I injured earlier in the year. As of now, I am still entered into the BMW PGA Championship, which is on the European Tour, and will decide early next week if I am in a position to compete. We will have, by the way, Dr. Ara Sapaya in studio with a further explanation a little later on Morning Drive. Also happening now, the KPMG Women's PGA Championship Media Day taking place just outside of Chicago at Olympia Fields Country Club. Let's go back to last year's championship, and what a championship it was. It was in Paige's great state of Washington. at Sahali Country Club, and it turned out to be a battle between Brooke Henderson and Lydia Ko. Here's Brooke Henderson on the 18th green.
Yeah, needing this par putt to get into the clubhouse and post a good number. Clutch.
Yeah.
Very clutch. I mean, she didn't win it at that point, but she knew she was probably going to lose it if that didn't go in. That's a huge putt.
She's in the clubhouse at 6 under now. Here's Lydia Ko, the leader on the 17th green. Short putt for birdie to take the lead.
And she would have heard the crowd roar on 18. Those greens only 450 yards apart.
Well, she was tied at that point. So now here is Brooke Henderson waiting. Robert, what's she thinking right now?
You don't want to pull against Lydia, but she's not pulling for Lydia at this moment either. So you're just kind of trying to stay in the moment, hit a few putts.
So we go to Lydia on the 18th green now. Long chance at birdie for the win.
Yeah, and this actually proved to be a difficult putt to read for a lot of the players coming down this stretch. Just wide left, not a super high percentage makeable putt.
No, and not one you want to say, oh, I tried to make it, ran it 3 feet by, and then have to sweat over that one. So that was a solid putt.
Totally understand that. You're trying to be a little defensive. Don't want a 3-putt. Playoff hole number 1, Lydia Ko in the fairway on 18.
It's a very difficult hole. It actually plays as a par 5 for the members. They shortened it, but it provides a longer iron shot. This actually a very good leadoff shot in the playoff.
In match play, the first person to hit on the green should usually win, especially that quality. She hit it exactly the way she wanted to, I guarantee it.
Now here's Henderson, her shot.
Unafraid.
Yes.
Unafraid.
Yes.
In the moment.
That's something.
Goosebumps.
Major championship moment. Wow.
And the Canadian in great position now, Lydia on the green, assuming that Henderson is going to make this, so she's trying to drill it herself.
Just doing all she can.
Yeah, doing all she can. I mean, she knows this is in or it's done. I mean, there's no way she thinks Brooke's going to miss that putt.
And you know what? She doesn't. Here she is, the 18-year-old at the time, Brooke Henderson, knocking that in, defeating 19-year-old Lydia Ko. How about the future of the LPGA Tour with these two?
Oh, my.
And hugs all around and that infectious smile. And Brooke Henderson wins the major championship and that great trophy shot there.
You notice how, being underage, I guess the water shower rather
they
than
have water.
champagne
No real champagne.
Understandable.
Maybe some sparkling cider. This year's edition of the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, as I mentioned, taking place June 27th through July the 2nd, Olympia Fields. And even though the second major championship on the women's side is a little more than a month away, never too early to start talking about such a prestigious event. And our own Cara Robinson and Nicole Castrali are on site at Olympia Fields, and they join us live. Good morning, ladies.
Yeah, good morning, Todd. It is wonderful to be here. This is an incredibly historic layout, and it now welcomes its first major in the women's game. Joined, as you said, by Nicole Castrali, a winner on the LPGA Tour and a lady who's had 3 top 10 finishes in this event. How cool is it to see what's happening to the KPMG Women's PGA Championship?
It is absolutely, and that was the reason of joining forces with the PGA of America. These players are so excited to come to venues that have so much history and to be able to potentially win on a golf course at Jack Nicklaus, Jim Furyk, Walter Hagen means a lot to the LPGA.
Yeah, they've crowned US Open champions here, they've crowned PGA champions here before, and now we have the KPMG Women's PGA Championship coming here as we just show you some of the notable champions. You mentioned Walter Hagen, that was all the way back in 1925. Jim Furyk won the US Open here in 2003. There were also several BMW championships that took place here. 5 of them used to be known as the Western Opens, of course. Let's speak a little bit more about the golf course, Nicole. This is the North course that's going to host it. You've spent a bit of time here already yesterday with the players walking around. What are your impressions and how will it suit this major?
When you drive into this golf course, you know it's a major championship. It has that feel. Willie Park Jr., when he designed the golf course back in 1922, that is specifically why he designed it, to be a major championship golf course. He loved elevation changes, and that's going to be the big thing you see out here. And you see the greens there at 18. Looks very subtle, but they are very tricky. You're going to see big breaking putts from the middle of the greens, breaking 3 to 5 feet. This is going to be an overall ball striker golf course, but you have to have a short game.
Is there a player in mind that you think this layout will suit specifically?
I really like Brooke Henderson. I spent some time with her yesterday, and she is sneaky long, and she was second longest on tour last year at this event. And she is a fantastic putter. She actually said she switched back to the putter she won with at KPMG Championship, and that's going to suit her well going into this year.
Trying to defend at a new golf course, and she is just one of several guests who will be joining us live on the show this morning. Brooke Henderson will be with us towards the end of the second hour. We'll have Stacey Lewis here as well, another multiple major champion. Lynn Dowdy has been a huge driving force from the KPMG side of things for this event. Paul Levy is the president, I should say, of the PGA of America. Michael Wan, of course, commissioner from the LPGA Tour. They will join us next. We've got plenty to delve into as we really set the scene for this championship that arrives at Olympia Fields at the end of June. So plenty more to come from us, Todd. We'll be back with you in a little bit.
We are so much looking forward to it, ladies. Thank you very much. And also right now, the PGA Tour happening this week in Irving, Texas. It is the AT&T Byron Nelson. Last year, Sergio Garcia defeated Brooks Koepka in a playoff to win. He's back in the field, looking to be the first since Tom Watson back in the late 70s to successfully defend. And let's take a look at some of the notable champions over the years. Not only did Tom Watson win in back-to-back years, he's won this event 4 times. Phil Mickelson also a winner, Tiger Woods, and Sergio has won here twice. But look at what happened in 2001. 2001, our man, Robert Dameron, was showing off. Look at this putt just dropping right in the front door, and he, look, with authority. And he says, thank you very much, thank you very much. And Robert Dameron goes on to win the AT&T Byron Nelson. And it's time now to learn from a champion. Watch and learn. Paige with our champion in Studio AP.
No surprise. We get a chance to relive some of the best shots from your victory.
Kind of a surprise.
No, the win may have been. No surprise you're here.
No, definitely not. Not the way I play golf now. I can't do this anymore.
Well, let's take a look back at 2001, some of your best moments. How did you, where are you and where is the green? Where are you going?
This is the 14th hole. Tough hole, 3-wood. I laid it out to the right on accident. Here was my decision. Now, I could pitch out. It wasn't an easy pitch out, but honestly, I'm telling you, I thought of Arnold Palmer at this moment and the way he won events, and I said he would not mess around. I'm here to win this tournament. There's a small opening, so I went through it, and you know, the only shot I had was to the right bunker. The opening was maybe this big, and I went right through it.
I think the struggle with a lot of people is committing to a shot like this because you're afraid it's going to ricochet back.
I think that's the trick. I've made the decision to hit this shot, this risky shot. Be positive, do it, hit it. Don't, if you're second guessing, flinching, questioning, bad things can happen. Stick with it, hit it hard, be aggressive. I'm going to hit it through there, and then live with the results.
Well, it wasn't the only challenging shot that you faced coming down the stretch. A long bunker shot, I think a lot of people are afraid of these bunker shots as well.
Well, yeah, and what happens, the further you get away in a bunker, the less room for error you have. So you have to hit it shallowly. You can't take a big divot, you can't dig, you'll have no control. So you've got to be aggressive, and you've got to take a kind of a shallow divot. And
how do you do the shallow?
Well, stable lower body's important, and also you get a little further away from it to shallow the shaft, so the hands are a little lower, not as high.
Okay.
Wow, look at that.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And we'll take a look at that divot you're talking about. So hands lower, kind of more around your golf swing, perhaps?
Yes, and look at my right foot. You can see just a little bit of that. It's still flat. I didn't finish like I do in a normal shot. Lower body stable, head stays still. That keeps everything kind of shallow.
Very good.
Worked out well there.
Well, something else that worked out was making a putt on the 17th hole. What was going through your mind here?
Well, what happened early in the day, one of my good friends played one of the first rounds off that morning, and he hit a putt on this green, Russ Cochran. He hit a putt on this green that didn't break as much. And he told my caddy before I teed off, man, I hit a great putt on 17, and it didn't go in. So when I got there, I had that information, and I took maybe a half-inch less break and was very confident that I did something right. So I think what you can learn from that is it's so easy to step up and say, there's a spike mark here. I don't like how my shadow's laying. I don't like this. Instead, find something positive that you can take and make a good stroke. Don't say something bad. Say, you know what? I know a little something. Now I'm going to step up and do it.
And now that put you in position on the 18th tee. Did you know where you were standing?
I was one up. I didn't know where I stood for the event. I only knew where I stood with Verplank, who was with me. So if I don't beat him, I can't win the event. So in my mind, it was match play. So I'm one up. I'm hitting first. If I hit this fairway, I think I've got him where I want him. So I made one of the best driver swings of the week. But what I did was, you can see way out in the distance the hotel. I think when you've got a nervy tee shot, something that you're not sure you need to hit the fairway. What I did was I picked a hotel room out in that distance, and it's maybe 1,000 yards away, so I can't reach it. But what I'm doing by trying to hit that target so far away is being aggressive, swinging hard. I'm not trying to steer it. I've picked my target. I'm definite. Aggressive.
Well, I know you like reliving those moments.
Yeah, can we do it again?
I liked it too. We are going to do it again later in the show. Okay. But for now, we're going to send it to Lauren for the tee sheet.
You'll have your chance again, Dameron. Don't you worry. We're still ahead this morning, though. As you heard from Cara and Nicole moments ago, we're going to get you ready ahead of time for the upcoming 2017 KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Our crew on site at Olympia Fields Country Club, they're standing by with many guests, including two major champions, Stacey Lewis and Brooke Henderson, who has this event's title defense on the horizon for Brooke. They both brought their clubs, though, so you're going to see those swings live. Then we're going to get a good conversation going on a very important aspect in your swing that's often overlooked, your grip, something our equipment expert Matt Adams calls the foundation of your swing. It's true, and he's with another expert in the field to shed some light on some new technology that could be perfect for you and your game. Plus, you also have a house call coming up with Dr. Ara Sapaya. He is on speed dial to many of the top pros in the game, and today he's talking the latest with being sun smart on the golf course, especially this time of year, as well as the news coming up with back injuries, including the details of Rory McIlroy and how to read between the lines with the latest reports surfacing on his MRI. So we've got a lot to cover, ladies and gentlemen, and it is only Tuesday in Studio AP, but we like to keep our viewers busy. And Todd Lewis making an appearance as well. Good to have you, Todd.
Good to be here.
I didn't mean it was a surprise.
Robert, by the way, the fact you said you aimed at a hotel room. You didn't aim at a hotel. You aimed at a hotel room.